earlier, and there was sort of a pause on that. And now they have begun. We saw a lot of protesters running towards the back, running away from police.
Okay, Gigi, we're gonna send it over to Gina Silva, who is also watching things develop there. Gina, what do you see?
I just woke up about 15 minutes ago.
Well, you can see here 1, 2, 3 people.
I seen this going down.
I spoke with this young woman here, and she said, "I think it's unfair what's happening to us right now."
I just had to chime in on this. So this is probably going to get me in trouble, but it is what it is. I feel like this needs to be talked about, but from a different angle. I want to first say this. I am in no way trying to say that I don't care about what's going on with other people and places in the world, because I do a little bit. This crap that's going on right here in UCLA, it's bullshit. We see all too often in this country, and this is just my opinion, Americans standing up for all these other countries and these other problems around the world, when we got problems and issues of our own right here in America. When there are thousands of children being raped and molested every day in our country, and you want to worry about what's going on in Palestine? Fuck Palestine. We got thousands and thousands of homeless vets and citizens in our country going to sleep on the street, not knowing where they're going to get their next meal from, nothing to eat. That's a real American problem. Fuck Palestine. Our government has set us up to be the fixer of all the world's problems and not give a shit about our own. That's a problem. All these people that are doing this protest in UCLA are stupid. They don't have their priorities straight. They don't know what the real problems are. Yes, what's going on in Palestine is a problem, is an issue. It's not ours. Our government is more willing to help other countries and saying, fuck America. That's what they're doing. These protests, they're stupid. This is stupid. Why don't the people of this country unite over real problems and issues in our country? We have thousands of missing and murdered Indigenous women that people don't give a shit about. We have thousands of victims every single day that fall. We have thousands of people every single day that fall victim to pedophiles. And you guys want to protest over Palestine. What has Palestine ever fucking done for any of us? Palestine ain't never did shit for me. That's on the real. That's the real shit. That's the real problem. We have men and women that have gone to war, put their lives on the line, some of them being severely injured and hurt, and they're homeless, sleeping on the street, committing suicide at rates that are so long, like 100 veterans a day commit suicide in this country. That's a real American problem, not what the fuck's going on in Palestine. That's the real problem. We have real American issues inside our own country, and we're so worried about what's going on in these other countries. It makes me fucking sick to my stomach. We Americans would rather help out other countries than help our own country become the best country in the world. Do you guys not see this as an issue? This is just stupid. And I don't care what you guys think. I really don't.
Officers that are here, their uniforms are covered in that white powder. They have not set any more of those off, and unclear if they simply just ran out. So it's calm, but it's a tense calm.
Yeah, I can still see things flying up in the air, kind of behind this initial line there. Can you tell me what you can see? Are protesters doing that? Are they passing things around?
Look at all these comments. California stands with Israel. California stands with Israel. California stands with Israel. Fuck them all, dude. California should stand with America and Americans' problem.
The protesters that remain right now are as peaceful as anyone can be that doesn't want to be arrested and doesn't want to leave the campus. And it's important to note, on Wednesday, the protesters were notified that this encampment was unlawful. And the UCLA went out of their way in that message to the protesters that they supported their right to free speech. This isn't about free speech. This is about an encampment. This is about not letting some students get to campus.
How about California stands against pedophilia? How about that? Can California say that? No.
They are moving in right now to try to get either through or to contain even more the protesters into even a smaller and tighter circle. It appears that's what they're doing right now. Or either
eating animals is wrong. Yeah, it might be wrong, but they sure are yummy.
They do have their arms locked together to try and prevent themselves from being arrested. We saw several tug of wars as officers would take a protester into custody.
Stupid.
Other protesters would grab the protesters' legs.
If half of these people actually stood for a real cause, we might actually get something accomplished in this country. What are they planning on accomplishing? What are they going to accomplish by doing absolutely fucking nothing? They're not going to change the way our government is and the way we handle issues. We should not.
It appears that this is working out for the CHP and for the law enforcement that's out there right now, because initially, obviously, there was a concern with that fortified barricade that it could escalate to something dangerous, and obviously presented a lot of challenges for officers that were trying to move in, not being able to see the people inside, not knowing what could happen once those barricades were taken down. And now that they're standing eye to eye with these officers, what you're hearing from those protesters, they are chanting peaceful protests. And so far, by and large, it appears that this has been peaceful. We have seen projectiles being thrown into the air and several things being thrown at officers, but it could be a much worse situation that we're looking at right now. So it almost appears that these officers have some time on their side. They're going to try and figure out how to arrest these protesters in a peaceful manner so it doesn't escalate or unravel into something that is more violent. So perhaps, Gigi, even the pushing that you saw there was to, as you said, break
I wish
apart
people would
those
unite
human
over
chains
real issues
to
like
get them one
pedophilia in
by
this country,
one,
like they
or
do right
maybe
here.
to move them and confine them into
All
a
these
shorter
people are
security
doing
area.
this for what? For Palestine? This is stupid.
That's right. They're just simply trying to contain them in the smallest group possible to make this easier. If you have people all over, it's obviously challenging for law enforcement. They're simply
Look at all these wasted resources. Look at all these. Look at all this time wasted.
They're using
Look at
the
all
batons,
this
not hitting people, but
wastedness.
just as sort of a barrier in front of
This
their
is
hips
ridiculously pathetic.
push people back and contain them. But
Why
the protesters here at the pro-Palestine
do
camp,
Americans care
they're
more
standing their
about
ground. I don't see any
second
of
and
them
third world
leaving. I don't
country
see any of
problems than
them
they do our
indicating to
own
police
fucking
that they want
problems?
to leave, that they don't want to be arrested.
We're
We have
trillions of
seen that.
dollars in
We
debt.
did see at least one
Free
woman.
Palestine.
She told police something, and she was
Thousands of kids
escorted.
get molested
She
every
was
day.
not
Free
arrested. She was
Palestine.
simply escorted away
The
from the
fuck is the
encampment.
problem?
We've seen
Where
many
do
people be arrested or detained with zip ties, and we understand that the jail buses are standing by, and that's where they're being taken to be processed.
Yeah, on that note of holding the line, something that I had noticed while watching this, Gigi, is the officers took the encampment down, took, this fortified
literally
building,
makes me
if you
sick to
could
my
say,
stomach.
down. The line of protesters seemed to have slowly moved towards officers. And so it's
Really
interesting
makes
then
me sick
seeing,
to my
officers
stomach.
try to push them back even further.
They have pushed them back quite a lot. I mean, that barrier was much closer to us than the people are now, and it was quite a challenge for California Highway Patrol officers. This encampment was quite fortified, again with wooden pallets, pieces of plywood, tables, chairs, metal bars. All of this was brought onto campus, right in front. You have to imagine, of campus officials and of campus police. Now, they had to know they were building sort of a fortress. It was very clear. Yesterday we saw them using drills and nails and hammering this fortress.
For sure. You remember the guy next door?
So yeah. I guess I just have a problem with things in a different manner than most other people, I guess. Like,
I like her. I like her a lot. Both are country. I like her. I dig it. She's lost in YouTube land. Yeah, that's what happened. That's exactly what happened. Good morning, everybody. Good morning to those that are still in the bushes. You're up all night. So am I. And if you're just waking up, good morning. Good morning. Oh. DJ said Lisa S. Don't threaten him with a good.
This is just ridiculousness. Thanks for popping in and checking out what I got to say, but you probably won't like it. But it's all good. I think this is stupid. I think Americans have their priorities in the wrong spot. We have real American issues here on our own land and inside our own country. Fuck all these other problems that people have in this around the world. We need to worry about our own fucking issues.
Get to know.
Good morning, Lee.
All right, I'm paneled up, guys. Yeah, good morning. So I'm having a love connection here. Get to know. I'm trying to hook up some people. So, are you okay? Are you well?
Oh yeah, I'm good. I'm just kind of irritated this morning, but you know, it's all good.
I'm sorry. Sorry. Hang out with the love connection. It might make things feel better. I don't know. All right, James Blonde, back to you. You say that some guys on YouTube like get on your nerves because they come at you too hard. I said that you came up on panel really quick to talk to Mobile Mechanic. Like lickety split. So I want to know what made you come so hard here.
Because I really need to know myself if I really want that. If this is, I had given up on it. I had so many obstacles in my way. So I'm always down for the, yeah. Like, I have no problem coming up and talking to you about it, talking to everybody about it. Because you know this because of the other night, of our discussion before. And that's another little obstacle. So what happened was, I was like, I guess this will never, I guess this is not gonna be me. and then at night when I go to sleep, or when there's times I think, I would really like that. I think I would really like that.
To have a relationship again?
Yes.
That's nice. And I think you should. Wild Angel, good to see you, love bud. So, like I said, what was it in his voice that made you think, wow, that's a nice guy up there? Was it the way Maggie was
promoting him? I had, of course, and I want to, no, don't be honest, lie. I didn't hear his voice.
You didn't even hear his voice?
Yeah, so I think this is some of the stupidest shit I've ever seen. I am so sick of Americans putting other countries' problems before our own. When we have pedophiles getting out of prison for ruining a child's life, and we want to worry about Palestine, that's an issue for me. When we have homeless vets sleeping on the street, our own citizens going to bed without dinner.
Him with a good time. Woo!
Going to bed without
This
dinner.
is if you're
That's a real
she's
problem
how so
for me.
already. Damn it. We lose her? So what was it?
That's the
I
kind
have
of
a tendency. I would keep myself busy, and right now,
Right? You're welcome. Hold on. Is that a problem?
those are the real issues for me. We have citizens in this country that would rather protest for Palestine than protest for real issues in our own country, like pedophilia, the MMIW, our government trying to take control over who we are and what we can say and do. Those are real American issues, not Palestine. Fuck Palestine. In the grand scheme of things, that's what I say. Americans need to put America problems first. That's what needs to happen.
Need a cigarette now, eh?
That's what needs to happen. This is a waste of time, energy, money, resources. This is all a waste of time. This is not going to change a fucking thing with Palestine. No protest any Americans put together for Palestine is going to change the way things are with Palestine. Why do we not protest our government sending billions upon billions of dollars to Ukraine? Real issues. Our government can send billions of dollars to these other fucking countries and can't send our own money back to us. That's a fucking issue. That's a real issue. I know I don't have the most popular opinion, and I don't care what people really think. But this is my opinion. This is how I feel about it. We should be uniting like this over real American problems. Real American issues, like our government fucking us over. Our government sends billions and billions of our tax-paying dollars to these other countries for what? It ain't gonna change a fucking thing. Because it's not. It's not gonna change a thing, people. We need to be fighting and uniting for real American issues inside of America.
Yep, she's out. Rate her. Have a good night. I appreciate it so much.
It really does. This shit just makes me mad. It makes me as angry as a hornet. This is ridiculous. Imagine if people united like this over real issues like pedophilia. Imagine how that would be. Imagine if half of these people got together and protested about people not doing shit about the MMIW. Imagine what could be different.
So I'm having a love connection here, I'm trying to hook up to people. So, are you okay? Well, no. I'm good. Who's been here good? Sorry. Hang out with the love connection. It might make you feel better. I don't know. All right, James Blunt, back to you. You say that some guys like get on your nerves because they come back too hard. I said that you came up on panel really quick to talk to mobile mechanics. Like lickety split. So I want to know what makes you come so hard here. Because
I'm just saying, like, we need to focus on problems inside of America and fix American problems before we worry about other fucking countries and their problems. I don't get it. I don't get why America has always put other countries first. I really don't. That's a real issue for me. This stupidity that is taking place right now at UCLA is stupid. All these people protesting for Palestine, they live in America. Let's protest some real American issues, people.
have a relationship again.
Like, let's protest why the pedophile laws are so lenient. Why don't we protest like this when a pedophile gets a slap on the hand?
Wow, that's a nice guy up there with the way Maggie was promoted.
Why don't we protest that kind of shit? Why don't we protest when our government decides they're going to send $80 billion to Ukraine? That's real American issues. Why are we not protesting that we have American soldiers, veterans, sleeping on the fucking street, committing suicide at 100 soldiers a day, veterans a day committing suicide in this country? Those are real American fucking issues, not what's going on in Palestine. That's what it's about. Our government sends our taxpayer dollars. Morning, Mom. Our government sends our taxpayer dollars all around the world. When we got real problems here, we have people sleeping. We have American citizens born in this country who are sleeping on the fucking street, and people would rather unite and fight over Palestine. Seems bass-ackwards to me.
All right, so mobile mechanic, have you heard anything that interests you?
Seems totally bass-ackwards to me. Hi, Mom.
What's that?
Like in the morning, like don't talk to me. I'd say.
Like, anybody, you guys can agree with me or disagree with me all you want. I really don't. It really don't matter to me. But what I'm saying is, it's time for Americans to put America first. That's on the real. That's the real shit. This crap that's going on in Palestine is stupid. $8,080 people watching now. UCLA pro-Palestine protesters now in a standoff with police. This comes as multiple brawls broke out and firecrackers exploded at a UCLA protest, all happening right outside of the pro-Palestine encampments in the Westwood part of the campus. This is all part of campus-wide protests across the nation, including colleges like Columbia, USF, George Washington University, USC, and among others. The fight broke out shortly after pro-Israel protesters started to play music outside the pro-Palestine encampments. The Jewish students even arguing among each other. This is the Israel-Hamas war rages on. I'm sorry. It's not. Right? You're right, Mom. Like, I can't believe that this is taking place on multiple campuses around the United States. This is fucking ridiculous. This is stupid. I'm not saying that the stuff that's going on in Hamas and in Israel and in Palestine, I'm not saying it's not important. What I'm saying is our problems in America supersede all other fucking problems in the world. You know, it's like the one saying, you know, you can't help, like Johnny Rivers said, you can't please everyone, so you got to please yourself, right? Well, you can't help everyone until you are helped yourself. Until your infrastructure is fixed and mended, we can't do shit for anybody else. We shouldn't be worried about everybody else before we worry about ourselves. The fact that there's thousands upon thousands of people protesting this stuff that's going on in Palestine is ridiculous to me. I don't care. There are American children right now being raped and molested, and you guys want to worry about what the fuck's going on in Palestine? And you guys want to worry about what's going on in Palestine? Pathetic. Pathetic. 100% pathetic. I don't agree with this shit. I really don't. I think it's stupid.
One arrest as officers are typically trying to keep things peaceful on one end. What are some of the reasons why they'll say, hey, no, you have to go?
Well, certainly obstructing public access for other people.
What? See this right here? See this right here?
Disruption from students.
This lower picture on the corner, on the bottom right here. Look at this crap.
Of public property.
Like, how the fuck does this help anybody?
So these are all of the factors
It
that
don't.
are taken into consideration.
All right, Jim, we appreciate you being part of our
This
coverage this morning. Chief of
don't help
Operations
shit.
for the former Chief of Operations for the LASD, Jim Hellman. We will check in with
This
you.
altogether is not changing a goddamn thing.
Our Fox News correspondent in Washington to weigh in on some of this. We've been saying, Doug,
This
President Biden
is not going to fix anything.
an arm's length from these protests that have been springing up across
All
the
this has
country.
been is just a
Now,
reason for people to get together and have a fucking party.
Shifted now from the East
This
Coast,
is stupid.
Where that protest at Columbia had been dismantled.
Every one of these
Now
protesters should be locked up in prison.
UCLA,
I'm dead serious.
And many wondering
I'm dead
whether or
fucking
not
serious.
the administration is going to weigh in more on this.
The president has really been trying to kind of straddle this issue, saying on the one hand that he does not support violent protests.
What, y'all too scared to come in and talk about some real issues?
The plight of the Palestinians.
Figures.
You know, in recent days, though, and those were comments that he made about a week and a half
it
ago.
Figures.
A lot has happened since then, and in the meantime, we've only
oh,
seen.
There goes two of my 3 viewers. Get out of here, then.
We've seen comments
for real.
From
it
the
doesn't
press
even matter.
secretary and other administration officials, but the president himself has been largely silent about these protests. I wonder if these images that we are seeing this morning, that you're you're showing there from UCLA, if this will convince the White House that the president just cannot wait any longer to talk about this. Now, the administration yesterday pointed out that he does have an event on Tuesday next week here on Capitol Hill, a Holocaust remembrance event that he is going to speak at. So at that
Hey, Mom.
Hello. Hello, my friend. I've come to
Good
talk
morning.
to
How are
you
you?
again. Good morning. How are you?
You know, I woke up in a good mood, then I seen this
Um,
shit, and it instantly changed my mood. Like, this shit is ridiculous.
you know,
This
political
is
science
fucking ridiculous, man. Go ahead, Mom.
it is. No, but political science is a lot of people who don't know what they want to be, but they want to go to college, they go into political science and then they become an activist. And there's a lot of places that, have money. Of course, they're the same peoples that have money that are helping the migrants come from other countries into the United States and promising them, all these things. But it's not to benefit our country. They don't do things to benefit our country. It would be one thing if they were doing that, but they don't. They activate a mindset of people. College students are very vulnerable because they're just left home, and so you have that freedom from your parents to think, and you're not under their thumb, so you don't have to think like your parents and stuff. And unfortunately, our parents are not teaching our kids um, the things about our country anymore. About respecting country, about respecting um, anything. We don't. We're not teaching that stuff anymore in homes, and kids
Right.
don't even respect their parents. So you
Right.
have all this stuff, and the kids. I mean, and the thing is, yeah, they're going to get arrested. But you know what? There's money already set aside through those groups that are in the back that will help get those kids out of jail.
Right.
And it's sad because and the more the stuff is shown on TV, it excites the college students, because let's face it, when we were younger, weren't we wanting to be rebels? I mean, I know you're still kind of a rebel, but you're not a rebel like you used to be.
Oh no. Oh no. I
You,
had
you,
to calm it down a bit.
yeah. But now you use your rebel attitude for things like murdered and missing indigenous peoples and um, child abuse, sexual abuse, of children.
Yeah. Yeah.
So you use that stuff that motivated you to be a rebel, the anger, the frustration of the world, and you know you use it now for a higher calling than these kids are doing, and they're being used by these political activist groups that are backed by big money, and those those people will be not named
Hmm.
because
They don't
they're
deserve the spotlight.
we would be we Well, yeah, we wouldn't deserve a plus. We would be considered, you know, spewing out um, something that isn't a fact.
Right.
But you know, because it's all hidden, and but we know it's out there.
You know, it's shit like this. It's shit like this that really feeds my fire. You know, the
Hmm.
fact the fact that there's thousands upon thousands of American citizens right now protesting on campuses throughout America for Palestine. Stupid.
Right, right.
Stupid.
And the thing is they don't even have the full truth. Who it Hamas did the first destruction, and they used their people in Palestine to hide behind, you know,
Yeah.
and the people are blaming Israel for all the bad stuff that happened in Palestine. But, it's that's why you have to really have you have to go back into history and study things and understand stuff, and you can't just react and say, "Oh, this poor person's being attacked." No. And yes, in war innocent people do get hurt. I understand that.
That's
And I
war.
don't like war. And I don't like war.
Who does?
But yeah, but they're standing uh, in a place not totally understand. They're saying the phrases, of from one side to the other side, and take and let's get rid of Israel. Basically, let's wipe it out. And they're not understanding what they're saying, and they're not even
Because they're
going
fucking
for the people
retarded.
that were, and they're not even going for the people, the entity that was really behind the mistreatment of the Palestinian people. And all and then when people were taken at the beginning of all this stuff, Israel basically gave everybody up. And a lot of those people in Israel were raped or killed, you know, or still or they're still missing.
And I don't mean to sound cold and callous with what I'm about to say, but it's going to sound cold and callous. But you know what? That's not an issue to me.
No, it isn't.
That's a fucking Palestine issue. That's an Israel
That
issue. That is an issue within their own fucking country. I don't know why Americans have to go and try to fix every fucking problem in the world when we have major problems in our own country as we speak right now.
oh
That's the
yeah.
issue for me.
I agree. I mean, let's look at, you know, all of a sudden we were supporting Ukraine, and now we've spent hundreds and thousands and millions of dollars supporting Ukraine, but what have they done for us? Nada. Palestine hasn't done nada for us, except maybe some of their people live here, you know. But it's still, we have helped so many countries, and until most people didn't even realize until Trump made an issue at the UN about how much money the US is shelling out to support the safety of the governments and world, and all these other people were just kind of riding on the shirt tails of whatever the United States, and that they're not paying their share. But they
Right.
sure are they're going to want when something happens. But yet in our own country, we don't we never really got the effects told to us about the wars from World War One and World War Two about the men that fought. What we heard, where it came to light, was through the Vietnam War, and
Right.
then subs- subsequent um, ones that have followed and stuff like that. And it's supposed supposedly the men from World War One and World War Two were tougher than the Vietnam War and the other wars and women that got also because women moved into working into war and stuff like that. But all those people not being taken care of, being homeless, committing suicide, not fitting in, not feeling respected, struggling at keeping a job if they went to
Home,
work.
a car, a family.
Yeah. And some of them did get married, but then, you know, they were so messed up in their mind. Plus, soldiers get used as guinea pigs.
Absolutely.
They get they get inoculations that the
Let's just say
medical.
it's fucked. It's just fucked.
It is. It's messed up. Royal, royal, royal,
Like
royal.
like I'm gonna say it again. I'll say it a million more times, and I don't even give a shit. Like we Americans need to stand united about American issues, American problems first. There's thousands of children that are raped and molested and murdered every single day in our country. That's an American issue. We have thousands of veterans who went and fought in wars that we more than likely didn't have any business being in,
That's true.
put their lives on the line, put their families on the line, put everything they ever on the line, and come home and get disrespected by having to live on the street. That's an American fucking issue.
It is. It
The
is.
fact
Those
that
are
the
those.
fact the fact that these parasites that keep on raping and molesting children get these slaps on the hand and walk out of a courtroom, that's an American issue. The
And
thousand,
yet we threw all those drug people into jail,
yeah,
and some of them were were not big pushers or anything. They weren't.
they're an addict. 90%
They
of
were
them are
just
addicts.
they were just addicts. Which we could have taken the money that we have to support them and created programs for them to go to help
Like,
them with their addiction.
to- and the thing with addiction is most people don't understand is there's an underlying root cause of addiction.
Oh yeah, because
Like
generally when we try to deal with one addiction, another addiction pops up somewhere.
right. And the
And,
reason why, like, if you look at the numbers, 87%, something like that, of all addicts have been sexually violated as a child. That's an
and
American
they're
fucking issue.
and they are trying to soothe that. And if they weren't, then they might have gone into the service and they witnessed a lot of stuff or stuff happened to them, and so now they're trying to self-medicate that But you're right. A lot of trauma happened as children,
Yeah.
and it's addictions are ways of trying to self medicate ourselves, be it food, drugs, cigarette. I still have cravings for a cigarette, and yet I have not had one for a very long time. And I've had people even offer me a cigarette, and I said no, but because I really want to stop smoking. But I eat a lot of food when I can because I'm trying to stop, not smoke, and I'm trying to get over that feeling that you get like I got to have a cigarette. Well, no, I don't. So then I just find something else to do with my mouth by eating.
Yeah.
you know, but I still have that, and I'm inside of me. I'm like, I can't believe I'm still fighting that craving for a
Right.
cigarette after all this time. Because people always tell you, well, once you stopped and everything, and I'm like, it's not going away for me. And I don't dare get around somebody who's constantly smoking and be put in that
The fact that
situation because I would just be I wouldn't be able to battle it right now. And that's why also, addicts, it's very hard for us, or any kind of addict, it's very hard to be around people who have the same addictions and stuff like that because you you may have stopped doing the thing that you're addicted to, but you get around other people that are doing the same thing that you used to be doing, and you're still not through going through the withdrawals and the mental thing that you got to go. It's not just the physical stuff, it's also the mental stuff. And if you
yeah,
haven't dealt with that, and then you're around them and everything, and then all you got to do is have some stressor pop into your life or too many other people around you doing it, and you finally just say, "What the heck?" and go do it.
yeah.
You know. But I agree. It's we don't we don't understand how valuable our children are.
Hmm.
We talk about life, but when it really comes down to it, we don't really even care about, we don't even care about life, about people's
Yeah.
lives. We don't do anything. We don't try to do anything preventable. I mean, I've not there are people, but I'm talking the majority. There's little subgroups here and there and stuff like that, like trying to bring awareness. Just trying to bring awareness is even hard to do
It's a
because
struggle like the son of a bitch.
people are like looking at you like, but there's a war going on in Ukraine, and there's a war going on in Israel and Palestinian, and you know, okay,
Those seems like problems and issues for people who live in Ukraine and who live in Palestine and who live in Israel.
that's right. Well, Ukraine was being set up a long time ago because
It's been being set up for years.
before Biden had to become president so that Ukraine could get that money. And if Biden stays or doesn't stay, now we have a Senate and House of Representatives that, you know, there's enough people there that'll shell out the money, or we won't. You send them the money, or we're not going to approve some other things.
Yeah, like
And that's
there was a bill that they were trying to pass here in the Senate a couple weeks ago, and the Democrats said we want this. The Republicans said, well, we don't want that, but we tell you what, like one of them said, okay, well, you want more border security. If you want border security, then you better vote for us, because if you don't, we're not going to vote for border security. Like, these issues inside of America should not be fucking bargaining chips to get what you want for third world countries and second world countries. I don't care what anybody says. Like, our border security is not a fucking bargaining chip.
no. We can't
But
even
yet,
take care of our own people, and you want us to take. Plus, you want us to take care of other people who are coming across the border illegally.
the first action
I'm
they're
not
doing to
saying,
become an American, the first action that they're doing to become an American citizen is break the fucking law.
and you're going to let them become an American citizen?
That seems like a fucking problem to me. Why are we not protesting against that shit? Why are we
Because
not protesting against the real issues in this country?
that's inhuman. Those poor people, they've walked so many miles.
I don't give a shit. I don't care how fucking far they walked. If you want to come into this country legally, I have no issue with that. And I don't give a fuck if you're from Mexico or from France or from Canada or from I don't care where you're from. If you want to come here to become an American citizen, do it the legal fucking way.
But then you see, have the other people go, well, the first Europeans that came over
Times change.
into America, they didn't come in. Yeah, I know. It's like they have an excuse for everything. And it's like that
Bullshit.
back then people traveled and conquered. I mean, I look at England. England went all over the place. The United States did too. I mean, we have some territories, but England colonized a lot of places, and and they still, they've relinquished some of their colonies, you know, back to the countries, but not all of them. But you don't hear people going, well, England did this and England did that. No, it's America did this and America did that. And
Exactly.
and
And
we're like,
I'm so sick of hearing that kind of shit too. Like, this is not the 1700s. This is no longer the 1800s. This is no longer the 1900s. We're in the year 2000 plus, people. Like, like, of course, the United States was colonized. If it wasn't done by the Europeans, it would have been some other country that made it here to colonize the fucking place. That's the way it works.
that was the way things did do. That's the way they did.
That's the way
People
the
conquered.
progression. Yes, that's the way the progression of human beings works.
We didn't. We didn't. We didn't. In early, you didn't think of boundaries and countries and lands and stuff like that. And then people started having, going, I want this to be my area and I want this to be my country. And I want my country to have more land. I want to, be in charge and stuff like that. But the thing is you're right. We still are not dealing with the issues at hand in our own country.
Exactly.
It isn't, you know, Ukraine. It isn't Palestine. It isn't, you know, if we had, even in the Bible, it doesn't say take off your only coat. It says if you have two coats, give one away.
Give one away.
It doesn't say take the coat off of your back that you own, it's the only coat you have, and give it away. You take care of yourself, and then you can take care of others as you have. But America is in debt and going into debt more and more. And what do? The government taxes us more. And they tax us more, and they tax us more. And then they send more money out of the country and still
Our
making us in debt.
our
Our
money.
money.
Our
Our
money.
money that we worked our
I
butts off for.
I did not give them permission to send my motherfucking money to another country to help support a country. Like I pay my taxes to help my motherfucking country. That's
You,
why I pay taxes.
if I want to send, if I feel like a country needs money, then I can send it personally to them. Or you create an organization that I send them the money, and then they send the money to whatever country needs stuff. But
Right.
it should not be our government taking care of, and our government has totally disregarded our Constitution and and even our Bill of Rights. And the sad part is we are the ones that are voting our government peoples into place. And we're not trying to get rid of those people. For some reason, there's a lot of people that support people that are not nice guys and gals. And I just don't understand, And it's because we don't, we've decided that Republican people are certain, conservative, and conservative people are such and such. And then, Democrats represent such and such. And the thing is we don't look at the person. I don't care what party they're in. Look at the person, how they live. And now I'm hearing, more and more, compromise but it's conservatism isn't even conservatism anymore. And we just have people who know they can make good money in Washington. They get a lot of good benefits. They've got great health. And some of those people, that's all they're going to do. They're going to sit in their office, but they're not really going to do anything. Yep. I need to go see the comments because I'm not watching them. Sorry. Hi, Act Right. Well, that is a good note about your son and everything, Act Right. So I'm happy that they're going to um, do something positive and put your son in a gifted program. Okay. Well, you know what? Unfortunately, um, our children get bored um, because they're either, and I'm not saying this is your fault and everything, um, but a lot of our children are not stimulated the right way. And they've been stimulated by watching TV and playing video games. And I'm not saying that's your son. I'm saying that's happened to a lot of our children. And then parents haven't been trained to be parents anymore. And the kids want to be entertained, and parents don't have the time to entertain their children. And they don't want to try to, to do stuff and everything. So here I am. I'm trying to train my niece to wash dishes, and she's 7 years old. And she's like, I hate doing dishes. And I said, I love doing dishes. And she said, why don't you do it? And I go, I'm working on a bunch of other stuff. I said, if I don't train you to start doing dishes and other things, how do you think you're going to have a job and be able to do stuff? You've got to learn. You have to learn. And the problem is when we're kids and we play wash dishes, that's one thing, you know, but we have to keep going. And and as parents, we're starting to dread going to work and dread having to do chores, and the kids are seeing that there's no joy in it. We don't make life fun. And then they can't go outside most of the times in a lot of neighborhoods and use their imagination. And parents buy them things that are very concrete, so there's no imagination. And back when I was young, I know I'm ancient, but you know, we used our imagination and we created things and pretended, a box became many things, a spaceship and a house and, all sorts of stuff. Um, Now it's just trash. And we don't, kids, I'm, I, I want to teach. That's why I went in teaching kids and stuff because I knew that when we are young and we're learning and somebody makes it fun, we don't even realize we're learning. And once we have that joy of experiencing things and feeling good about ourselves and discovering life, it makes you want to discover more of life. And, you know, but just sitting around doing nothing, watching TV, watching movies, using your phone, playing video games, it's really, yes, you can have, um, oh, yay! Somebody get to know just gave out 5 get to know memberships. Cool. That is so awesome. Woohoo! Thank you. Thank you. Get to know. Awesome. Aw. Woohoo. And I don't think all kids learn in school. So, oh, I'm sorry to hear that. That's sad. That's sad that he had to have open surgery. But yeah, we tend to spoil our kids if they've been sick a lot or some type of a tragedy hit our children and stuff like that. And I think it's um, common as parents for us to do that. You know, I think we've had children with a lot of trauma. But we've also had adults with a lot of trauma, and we've been surviving on having our traumas and not really having dealt with the traumas in our life. And so sometimes we've made bad decisions and passed them on to our generations. And, you know, and just like I was telling, get to know, we all had our teenage years where we kind of are rebellious and everything. And some people stay that way all their life. And but then they can use that energy for good things, and then some of them, the people don't use them for good, and
Yeah,
and that's really sad.
it's sad. It really
It
is
is sad. Because and like you said, we're not teaching about patriotism and And I'm not saying worship our country. I'm saying just, we should be proud of who we are. Number one, in our family, and then who we are, you know, as a person, and where we live. We should, we should. There should be. There's a balance to pride. If you know,
Yeah, like I
who.
remember this. I remember the song. I remember the song. It started out something like, how did it go? Like, well, I'm proud to be an American,
Hmm.
where at least I know I'm free, right?
Right.
Well, not so much anymore. Like we are all enslaved to our government.
Hmm.
Our government does what the fuck they want to do, and we follow along with what they tell us to do. That's not the way our
And
country was founded. That's not the way. That's
no,
not the vision our founding fathers had for this country. Our government was designed to work for us, not the other way around. Our government wasn't put in place to tell us what to fucking do and how to live our lives.
and we've become like frogs and lobsters in cold water, and the water got heated,
Yeah, a frog in
and we're
a frog in
dying.
a boiling
We,
pot.
yeah, and we're dying, and we don't even realize we're dying.
Yep, it's
We just
ridiculous.
let it. We're just letting. We're just letting it happen to us, and the thing is, we're the ones that are voting these people in. Somebody, if it's not us, somebody is.
I don't remember the last. I don't remember the last time I voted for a president that made it into office, or a senator,
It's
or a congressman, or a governor, or a mayor. If I vote for them, they don't make it into office. So maybe that's what I should do. Maybe I should vote for Biden this year so we don't make it into office.
that's it.
Because that's what my history's proved to me. And see, like, let's talk about that for a minute. Like, I think the way that we vote is fucked up. Like,
Hmm.
I shouldn't have to go in when I go in to vote. Are you a Republican or a Democrat? Well, maybe I'm neither one. Maybe I'm just an American who wants to vote for. Maybe there's somebody who's a Democrat that I think has got good ideas, and maybe their policies are good. Maybe I want to vote for them and vote for a Republican at the same time. Maybe who the president has picked for vice president I don't like, but I like the president, and maybe I don't want his vice president as vice president. Maybe I want. Why can't I vote for that person as vice president and this person for president? Like,
Right.
I don't know why I have to be locked into one party or the other. I think it's bullshit, and I think it's wrong.
I agree. I think, I don't think I think you should be voting for the person,
Yeah, what
not the
political party?
party.
Yeah, and I'm
And
not.
there are people that vote strictly for the party, and they don't even care about the person. But then you also have, I don't know, you just have people that are wicked out
Yeah,
there.
like the definition, the term career politician shouldn't even be in existence. Our
Oh,
government,
I agree.
our founding fathers did not do what they did to make a career out of being a politician. When people like Nancy Pelosi has a net worth of $100 million and she's been a politician her whole life, that's a fucking issue. How did she how
I
did she get in how did she get a net worth over $100 million? Not by making good investments, I'm sure.
Well, unless she had inside information on her investments.
Well, that's not a good investment. That's an illegal investment. But you
Yep.
see what I'm saying? Like no politician should have $100 million fucking dollars.
Yep. And you can't just say her husband made all that money.
Yeah, that's Nancy Pelosi's. That's Nancy Pelosi's net worth, not her husband and her net worth. That's her net worth. Her net
Hmm.
worth.
No, I agree with you. I mean, I know that if we did not have a limit on our presidents, that we would have presidents who would have stayed in office more than 2 terms.
Like seriously. Now, see, I'm all about the term limits. I really am. Like, and people are like, well, we have a good president. Why? Because when you hold any kind of political office, as long as some of these people do, there's nothing you can't help but become corrupt in some way, shape, or form. That power trip that you get, it's real.
Oh
It
yeah.
takes control and like I got the power, I can do whatever I want. Well, no, that's not how the fucking government was designed to work. What's the definition of government? To govern over people. We need somebody to help us. Our government was designed to make the make policy making a lot easier for a country. Now,
Right.
now our government wasn't designed to make up laws and do what they want to do and feel is important. Our government was there to represent their representatives. What's the
And
definition of
that's the
representative?
part, and that's the part that's really bad because we're electing these people and we're wanting them to represent us. So if we have 10 people who like this apple tree and we want it to stand and stay in the middle of the city for some reason, and then all of a sudden we vote somebody in and we thought they liked apples and they liked trees and they would keep that, they would, and then the next thing we know it, they're chopping the apple tree that we voted them in to keep.
Right.
And
Like
and
like
it's like, wait a minute, I voted you in because you liked apples and you like trees, and a majority of us liked apples, and we wanted to keep that apple tree in the middle of our city. And the first thing you do is go and chop down our precious apple tree and not represent us.
I mean, for real. Like our government, we don't have our government in place to tell us what to do. Our government was put in place for us to express and tell them what we want and for them to go and make that happen. I don't remember, like, if you look in your state just in the past year from July 1st to June 30th, you will see so many laws that were changed and or put in place or enacted upon that I have no idea why the fuck it was even in there. Like I didn't vote for that to become a law. Like my state just recently passed a law that says like if you get caught with weed, it's a $420 fine. I did not vote for that to become law. I didn't vote for that to become law. Like that's the way our government is supposed to be. Like our government is supposed to do what we, the people, tell them what we want to do and to see through that's what gets done. Not have their own political agendas and their own little things that they want They gave up the right for expressing what they want by becoming a
Mhm.
representative of us, the people. You no longer get an
That's
opinion on what you want when you become a representative of the people of this country. You are there to represent the people of the country. That's what they're there for.
right.
That's what they're there for.
And that's not what's happening
And it
at
hasn't been
all.
happening like that for a long fucking time. A long time. Our government does not own us. Our government does not they're not in the position to tell us what to fucking do. There's only a handful of people in our government in positions of power, and yet we give them all the control. It's not how it was designed.
We're we're moving back towards the medieval days.
Yeah, we are. We're quickly approaching dictatorships in this country.
Hmm.
Baby.
and
Baby.
and there won't be freedom. You know, you'll be
Yeah.
working. You'll be working, and if you're a farmer, you're not farming. You're not going to get any extra food just because you're a farmer.
No, that farmer that's busted his ass, that like here in Idaho, our main cash crop is potatoes, of course. And like that potato farmer still has to go to the grocery store to buy a 10-pound fucking bag of potatoes that came from his fucking farm.
He worked his butt off for those potatoes, and he's now having to buy back his.
I mean, for real.
And he didn't make. And by the time what he got paid originally for those potatoes that he dug up and sold, by the time the price has gone up so much on that potato, and then he's having to buy those same potatoes back.
Right.
And that's the thing, is people don't realize that's what's going to happen. We're not going to all what we ever do, all of our things that we do is going to be, you know, we're
Yeah.
only going to get a portion.
Yeah.
And we'll be slaves.
We already are.
And we already are.
There are so many people that have been enslaved by just our government alone that don't even realize that they're enslaved.
Right.
Like, I don't get it. I really don't get. When did we, the people, as a society, become so fucking dumb? We're gonna let somebody whom we will never shake hands with, never have a conversation with, tell us what we can and cannot do. We have people that are telling us what's good for us and what's bad for us, and they don't even know who the fuck we are. That's an issue. That's an issue. I don't remember the last law that has been passed that I have wanted, that I've fought for. All the laws that I've ever fought for, like the legalization of weed, the decriminalization of marijuana, like that should have been decriminalized back in the fucking 80s.
Mm-hmm.
It should not be an issue right now in 2024.
And it is. It's a big issue.
And it is. So. And it's stupid as shit. Why do we, a free people, let people tell us what we can and cannot do? I know that I tell my politicians what I want done, and they never do it. It's bullshit.
Right.
It's absolute bullshit. And it pisses me off. It pisses me off in a way that makes me want to protest. You know what I mean? Like, it's fucking ridiculous. It's fucking ridiculous is what it is. I have never been really good at doing things that people have told me, you got to do this. Usually when G2K is told you have to do something, I do just the fucking opposite. I do not like to be told what to do by anybody. Why? Because I am a fucking free thinking individual, and that's what I choose to keep, is my free thinking ability. I am not, let me see, how do I say this? I'm not anti-government. I am anti our government, in the sense that they don't have power and control over me. I should not have to kiss their ass to be prosperous, to be well off, to have a family. I shouldn't have to kiss anybody's ass to be a free person.
Right.
Our country was designed for us to be a free people. That's why we fucking came here, to get away from the control a government had over its people.
Mm-hmm.
We
That's
control our government. Our government's not supposed to control us. They are supposed to
and that's what
govern us. Govern us.
and we've
What?
become just like other countries where one person tells everybody how high to jump.
Yeah, well, guess what? You tell me how
Rather,
high to jump, and you won't see my feet leave the fucking ground.
you're going to be the only one standing.
I mean, for real. Everybody else is gonna be jumping on me, standing there looking at these guys like, "What the fuck are you guys? Are idiots."
Hmm.
I got an idea. Why don't you all go walk off that cliff real quick? There's an idea. I just told you guys to do that, so why don't you guys go do it? Oh, because I'm not a politician? So guess what, politicians? I want you to tell all these fucking lemmings to go walk off a cliff. And watch 90% of them go walk off a cliff because they were told to
Yep.
do it.
Yep.
Stupid. Stupid.
Yep. And that is what we're creating. We're not teaching children really how to think, to be individuals. They have to draw it within the lines. It has to be drawn a certain way. It has to be colored a certain way. You know, it has to. Everything has to look exactly the same.
Right.
And
It's it's it's
and
it's like
yes.
it's like a paint by number. It's like a paint by numbers deal. Like
Hmm.
when I was in elementary school, I didn't follow the numbers. I painted that shit how I wanted it painted, and I was told that that was not the way to do it. Why? I just because you want to look at oranges as orange, maybe I want to look as an orange as a fucking, and maybe they're blue.
Right.
Why can't I? Why can't I do that?
That's right. Why do they have to be oranges? Why
I
can't they
mean,
be blue oranges or purple oranges?
or whatever fucking
Maybe they're
color
not,
you
or
want them.
maybe they're not, and maybe you decided they weren't oranges in the first place.
Yeah, maybe they're just a round bouncy ball. You fucking jackasses.
It's like,
I just don't.
mm,
I just don't get. I just don't get. I just don't get how come we've allowed our country to become how it is. I don't. I don't. You
and
can
we've
get
let a lot of outside countries influence us.
like
Except we're not influenced. They're not influencing us.
they're influencing politicians.
They're influencing the politicians that we voted for. And then you have less and less people wanting to vote
Yeah,
because, like you said, everybody you ever vote for never gets in the pot. So why should you vote then? If every time you vote, the person you voted for doesn't get elected, then why vote?
I mean for real. But I vote every election. I don't give a shit what it is. I vote
Right.
because I'm one of those people. I feel like if you don't vote, if you don't vote, you don't get a right to
You don't
bitch
have.
about the problems.
I'm a firm believer of that. If you don't vote, even if you didn't get your person in, if you don't vote,
You don't
you
get a
have
right to bitch.
no right. You cannot complain about what's going on in your government, in your city, in your state, in your country. You don't even have the right. Those rights came. Those are the primary rights as a citizen. It's not just a place to live and breathe the air.
Correct. I
It's
agree.
there. That is so
It's a hard man.
important.
You know, and here's one thing. Okay, since we're going on about this stuff, let's take it a step. Let's take it a step in a kind of the same direction, but just a little bit off the path. Now, there are people out there. I know quite a few of them that because
Good
they have
morning, Elaine.
that have committed a crime and are a felon, they can't vote. I think that's bullshit.
Right.
I think that's bullshit. Just because you committed a criminal act, you lose your right to vote. How does that even make sense? That's fucking stupidity. Just because a drug addict went to prison for drugs, what the hell does that have to do with the right to vote?
Well, why leave it there? If you're going to do that, why not just they can't be an American citizen anymore?
I mean, that's pretty much what they're doing.
Right, because that's your basic right.
I mean, that comes right along with the First Amendment and freedom of speech.
Hmm.
Like, for real. I mean, like the artist Jelly Roll. He a couple months ago he went and he spoke in front of Congress about the problem with fentanyl in our country. And he's like, and you know what the big issue about all this is he says, since I've been to prison and I've been convicted as a felon, I don't even you guys asked me to come here and speak on this problem. But yet I can't even vote because I went to jail for drugs.
And you're asking that person to be a witness of what drugs did and why it's bad, and yet you can't
Yeah, you
change.
can't
They
even
can't
vote.
change in.
You can't. He can't. That's a fucking issue. See,
Yeah.
these are real American issues. Do I feel bad about what's going on in Palestine? Yes, I do. Do I feel bad about what's going on in Ukraine? Yes, I do. I'm not a heartless piece of shit. But that's not an American issue. Those are Ukrainian issues. Those are Palestinian issues. Those are not American fucking issues. Babe, you're snoring. You are too. Like I am not. But
Is she going into La La Land and not even realizing she's into La La?
Oh yeah.
She's crossed over.
Oh, yeah.
I've done that stuff.
Oh yeah.
I think we all have.
Yeah, I think so too. But I mean, the way our country is right now, our country is in turmoil and on the brink of disaster, and 90% of the citizens in this country don't even realize it. Why? And why are we like that? Why are we in the situation we are in? Because we care more about issues around the world than what the fuck is happening in our own neighborhood.
Yeah.
That's an issue for me. That's a problem. America, I don't care. It sounds fucked up. America first. America first. When's the last time I put America first?
I agree. That's why, you know, you do what you can for your country and for, you know, people that you know the best you can, even if it's just watching somebody's video, you know, at least, and saying, hey, I watched it, you know, doing some and doing things like that it just shows you took the time to say, I care. No, I didn't go and solve their problem. No, I didn't give them money, and help them pay their bills or anything. And, but at least I did what I could, because, but if I had the money, maybe I could pay a bill if unless I'm really selfish. And, but why would I want to go and take your money and go pay their bill?
Yeah.
What if I had access to your, let's say I somehow had access to your money, why would I take your money and pay somebody's bill with it? Because you didn't want that bill. You had that money for a reason to pay another bill or to pay somebody else's bill, but not that person's bill. And that's what we're doing. All our, and the thing is the reality is there's no money in the account. We're taking money from other people's accounts to pay a bill, and we're still our government's account keeps going more debt and more debt and more debt.
To other
Now,
countries. To other
to
fucking
other
countries.
countries.
Like we go to work. Most Americans go to work every day, work a typical 9 to 5. Some of us work even more than that. And yet we come home before we even get our money, before we even get our paycheck, going and giving our lives to a company and working for a company and making money. We give a certain percentage of our money into taxes that goes to another country. Then we go and buy a house and we pay taxes on this house, and those tax dollars that we got from work after they already taxed those tax dollars, after they already taxed our money, like it gets taxed again when we buy our house, when we buy our car, and all that money goes to another fucking country. No wonder why America is becoming fucked.
And also, if you overdrew your bank account,
yeah,
all the time, I mean, never could get it all the way paid up, the bank's not going to keep issuing you money and letting you be overdrawn. And yet, somehow, our government can do that. And there's no way our government could ever tax us enough to pay the bills that that they've incurred.
Exactly. It's like this. I like putting this analogy out there. Like I witnessed, I learned some shit about some things about our country about 8 months ago. Really made me sick to my stomach. Okay. During the whole COVID crisis, when it first went down, we Americans said we want some kind of stimulus money. We want some stimulus money. You're going to shut our country down. We still have to survive. So we want paid for that. 99% of United States citizens don't realize this fact. There were 3 stimulus packages passed. Most Americans received money from the government. And I say that lightly because we receive money from ourselves.
Right.
We received 3 different stimulus payments from our government. And the first time good old Joe Biden sent money to Ukraine, he sent $80 billion to Ukraine to help fight against Russia in its defense. Most people don't realize that all the money that was given out to the American people in all 3 stimulus packages combined, the $80 billion that Joe Biden sent to Ukraine the very first time was more money than all of the American people got all together with all three stimulus packages combined. Ukraine got more money from our government, got more of our money than the American people got with all three stimulus packages combined.
And that
And we've
is
been in how many trillions of dollars worth of debt for that? For what? For fucking what? For a $600 check? For a $1,200 check? For a $900 check? Are you fucking kidding me? That's a problem.
that is a problem.
That's a fucking problem. What's up, Kiki's Eyes? What's up, JD? That's a problem.
That is so much. That is
A fucking issue.
if I think that's why sometimes you see parables like you know, and animals prep for seasons, and the bears eat a lot just before they're going to go into hibernation. So they nature has ways of taking care of itself. Squirrels go and hide a bunch of you know nuts and places that they didn't eat and saved up. We have ants that, if they were as big as humans, um, they already outdo us in their size. But if they were humans, they would they would outdo us even more. We would see it. We just don't see what ants can do, because they're so small. We don't realize um, how lazy we are.
I'll be back. Keep going on.
Uh-huh. And here we do bail some people out for um, some emergencies, but we also bail out people who just don't want to do anything. But we don't bail out everybody just because they don't want to do anything. And yet, here's a country. It's a country. It should have already, all countries should realize that there could be a time where another country is going to try to invade them, or natural catastrophe might hit. Now, I don't have a problem when somebody has prepared, you know, it's when they haven't done anything to prepare for anything and stuff like that. And that's, unfortunately, that's what Ukraine did. But how come other countries aren't helping Ukraine? Why is it us? If it's such a dire issue, then why are we the only ones that are supporting them?
Exactly.
Of course, then why in the heck did, when we left Afghanistan, did we leave our equipment there? And we knew we were leaving. It wasn't like somebody said, you have to be out, you're being
evicted right now.
Evicted right now and stuff like that. And if you don't get your stuff out by, in so many hours, no, we had plenty of time. We're the ones, our government set up a limit, or a person in our government set up a limit of when things had to be accomplished, and is using that excuse for not, for us giving to the peoples of Afghanistan who are in charge, not the peoples that live there, but the peoples that who decided they wanted to be in charge of Afghanistan. And some people are approved of it, and some people who live there don't approve of it. But if you don't prep at all,
Yeah.
and Afghanistan, I mean, Ukraine doesn't look like they did any prepping of anything for if somebody, if somebody decided to cross over into their borders. They weren't prepared at all. They had not, they had nobody really trained. They had no weapons. They didn't have a real army and stuff like that. They didn't, they weren't prepared. And it wasn't like they just suddenly, all of a sudden, had issues with Russia. I mean, we're not going to be prepared because we've been so busy helping other people. We're not going to be prepared if something happens.
Quit it.
Yeah. I don't know if that was Hera or Noya. You tell them. You tell them.
That's exactly what we're saying right now, Kiki's eyes. Right now. That's exactly what we're all saying right now. Stop it. Kiki's eyes says, I'm sorry, but I think we should take care of our own people instead of other countries. My opinion.
Yeah.
Exactly. Like the fact that kids are still being raped and molested on a daily basis in this country is a problem. The fact that there are all kinds of citizens, including veterans, that are going hungry and won't eat today and have no bed to sleep in at night in our country. That's a fucking that's an issue that needs to be resolved. The fact that these pedophiles are getting let out of prison for destroying a child's childhood and
destroying more children's childhoods.
Yes, that's a fucking issue. Do I feel bad about what's going on in Ukraine? Yeah, I do, but that's a Ukrainian problem. Do I feel bad about what's going on in Palestine and Israel? Yes, I do, but that's a Palestine and Israel problem. Americans, here, let this sink in. Americans send more money in donations to starving children in Ethiopia than they donate to American charities to combat the problem of hunger in America. That's a fucking problem. That's a problem. If the tables were turned and Russia was trying to attack America, would all these countries be sending us billions of dollars? Fuck no. No, they wouldn't. Not one of you in this chat or who watches this later can tell me I'm wrong. Tell me I'm lying. Tell me I'm wrong. You can't.
Mm-mm.
Not fucking one of them would send us a penny.
Yep.
You would say that's an American problem. Let America deal with American problems.
Right.
That's what the fuck they'd say. Whether they're our allies or not. It's bullshit. Exactly. Act right. Exactly. Kind of one of those clean your own house before cleaning up others. Exactly.
Mm-hmm.
Well, thank you for agreeing with me, Act right. You get a membership.
Ooh, yeah.
I don't think JD realizes he got a membership this morning either. That's cool.
I don't think he knows it either.
Yeah. Oh, someone booked. I did.
Oh, cool.
I did. I'm gonna do that. I decided that this morning. So beginning of every month, I'm gonna buy at least 5 memberships for people in my community. Whether they keep them after that or not, that's on them. It's all good. I mean, it's only 99 cents a month. You know. And remember,
Right.
all people who get memberships will be put in at the end of the month for a drawing for a free tie-dye. That's the perk you get. That's the perk
That
you
is a
get.
perk.
You get your own separate little drawing where all members get put in for a drawing just by being a member for a tie-dye. I think that's a good idea.
Yeah,
I think so too.
it's cool.
I have a feeling I'm going
I
to be paying for a lot more memberships than anybody else could be getting on their own. But that's okay. You know what I mean? I don't care. It's small little things that I can do to pay back my community. You know. So Kiki's Eye says, in
well,
my opinion,
and at
time to keep
least you have something because some people have memberships and their members don't get anything at all.
yeah.
And at least you have something that
Yeah.
you know
Yeah.
that there's an opportunity. Hi, Truth Warrior.
What's up, Truth Warrior? So Kiki's Eye says, in my opinion, those kind of people don't stop. Some people say, oh, they did their time. They can come out. They're good people now. No, they're not, in my opinion. Once a sex offender, always a sex offender. There's no rehabilitation for a sex offender. I don't give a fuck what anybody says.
I don't care if it was just one child
You're still a sex
or
offender.
a,
You
a,
sexually,
a
you sexually
hundred or
offended.
a hundred pictures of children
And I don't
doing
care if you
things, even if they never
I don't.
even met those kids before.
Yeah, yeah. They've never even actually. I don't give a shit. You participated in that. You are a fucking sex offender. It doesn't matter
Who
if I got.
wants?
It don't matter if I got molested and raped one time as a kid or 500 times as a kid. I will always be a sexually abused victim.
It's having that attraction for children.
Even
Yeah.
if you don't live as a victim,
Yeah.
you know,
Even though I don't live as a
yeah,
victim, I still am. Nobody can take that title away from me.
You know, that's those are the things that and I mean some of the things that I have been through here since and I have not yet shared with you and I'm not going to do it public, but I'm like I can't believe the ignorance of people
Yeah.
not aware and they think they're and I'm like they have no concept of possibility. I know we can't go around and wonder if everybody's a sex offender and stuff like that and everything. But it doesn't matter. You know, you need to be aware, you need to teach your kids what you can and then you need to protect your children the best you can. And and the reality of it is inside of myself, I don't trust anybody, you know, anymore because I know that all of us have the potential to sin. So, depending on the opportunities that's presented to us and everything,
Yeah.
and and because a lot of the stuff happens in the mind first, some before it sometimes happens. It's just that's like a guy who says, "Well, I had an affair on my wife, who I dearly love, because some woman was very provocative. And okay, but you have made a choice. The children don't have a choice. There is no choice in the children.
Yeah. Like a certain part of me was fucking destroyed before I even knew that part of me existed. When I first became a victim at 4.5, 5 years old, like I didn't know what innocence was. I didn't even know what innocence was until I was quite a bit older in my life. Like, what's innocence? And like, you don't really get that concept when you're young. Like,
No, you don't know. You don't understand being innocent.
I mean, for
You don't
real.
even understand being bad. You don't even understand really being bad.
I mean, for real. I just didn't even really have the concept of existing, let alone what these huge things are in life. And the fact that people are taking this away from children before they can even decide to give it away to whom they want to give their innocence away to, that's an issue for me.
And see, that's the part that's really bad because some people think, well, I trained my child.
Oh, thank you.
This.
I like my
and yes, the child was trained by you. You taught them things, but that doesn't mean they had the full comprehension and they knew what to do. Still, because you do your best.
Right, exactly.
But they're kids. They're still kids. Yeah. It's not the child's fault. I don't care if they're. I don't care if they're still a child. They don't still. The brain. Our brains are not really fully developed until, for most people, around 20. There are some that are even and later, and some people a lot later.
Yeah, 26.
Especially, and especially if there's been a lot of trauma, it gets even delayed.
Even more.
But the part that has the common sense, that's the final part of our brain, the common sense part.
Yeah. No. So I'm gonna address chat real quick. Kiki says, I wish I could help, but I'm taking care of my brother with 2 broken shoulders, taking care of my farm, taking care of my house, taking care of my husband, helping with my grandbabies. I don't have money. You don't need money to help, sweetie. You don't.
No.
Like, just you being here and being a part of this chat and taking a part of this conversation and being here is good enough for me. Like you sound like you got a lot of shit going on in your life. I wish I could help you out. Yeah. I wish I could. So you being here is help enough for me. And Kiki's eyes, she said, mine started at the age of 6, and I'm a survivor. Well,
you're in the right place.
You're in the right place then. If you would like to, if you'd like to come and talk about your story a little bit or whatever, I would love to have an interview with you. I'm just letting you know. And if you don't, that's fine. I don't want to try. I'm not going to pressure you. I'm not going to try to push you. I'm just going to say, if you want it, because I know for me personally, on a personal level, I know that me talking about this helps me out on a daily basis. So
it makes you stronger.
It does.
Makes you stronger. So, it gives you more empowerment.
Yes, it does. So
you're taking back.
Yes, I would love to offer you that opportunity to be able to do that as well, if you want. If not, it's fine. Just you coming in here and saying that mine started at the age of 6 and I'm a survivor, that's a huge step. That's huge. Just putting that out there on YouTube is huge. So thank you for letting us know, and you'll always be welcome here. Just know that. Act Right says, women who can't live without a man better get woke, and vice versa. We are allowing these people in our children's lives, and it's too late once something happens. No, not dated in over 8 years because you are more.
um, says app, but I think oh, and then it goes on to end up with an offender than a good moral person.
Yes. Like here's another
Um,
statistic. Here's another
but it's
statistic that
but it's
people
not
don't.
always, and it's not always men. It's
No, it's
not
not.
always men. It can be
No,
women.
it's not. Like here's another statistic that really blows my mind, and a lot of people are like, "Oh, you don't know what you're talking about," but I really do know what I'm talking about. Like when you are in a marriage and your marriage fails and you have children and you divorce and go your separate ways and you find somebody that you want to be in a relationship with, if you bring a step parent, a step child, any step into your relationship, you raise your child's risk of becoming a victim of sexual abuse by 99%. Now, I got to make it clear every time I say this because people are like, oh, I'm a step parent. I've never molested a child. I'm not. That's not what I said. You need to listen to the words that are coming out of my mouth. When you have a child and you bring a step parent or child into a relationship with you and your children, you put your child at a greater risk by 99% of becoming a victim. Period.
Especially if you don't look them up in their background.
I mean,
you know them. What's on paper.
for real. Even you know what I mean? So yes, that's good. That's good that you know you haven't dated. I mean, that sucks if you haven't dated for 8 years, and I'm sure it gets lonely at times, and you wish you had somebody there to, you know, confide in at the end of your day and snuggle up with at the end of the night. But you don't need somebody that bad that you're going to put your kids at risk like that. Like, I just don't get it. Like, I really don't. So you are an amazing person for that act, right?
Yes. There, and because we don't know what
Perfect.
where
Yep.
we don't know where anybody's head is and comes from and stuff.
Yeah.
You that's why, you know, I've worked for daycare places and they go, well, we don't want men in this room. I'm thinking, I understand maybe you don't want men in the diaper changing areas and stuff like that, but that doesn't still mean that there aren't women that you don't want in the diaper changing areas either. You cannot, we don't know.
Yeah, like
SA doesn't pick any gender or color or race.
Yeah, perfectly said, man.
No.
My wife did you hear what she said? She said sexual assault and sexual abuse does not have is not gender specific. It's not race specific. It's not skin color specific. It's not.
It's not a religion.
I mean,
it's not
for real.
religious.
But
It
come
has
on.
it has no religion. It doesn't have it's
sometimes the person closest to you.
And that's the thing. Like Kiki's Eye says, she says, I've been married to the same man for 39 years. And if I had to start over again, I will do a background check on every person I meet. But even then, it doesn't give you all their information, because maybe that person that you're interested in just hasn't been caught yet. They're that good at what they do that they just haven't been caught yet.
Or they just haven't ever done something yet for some reason.
I mean, for real, it doesn't. Yeah, exactly. You don't.
We don't.
The fact of the matter is, you don't know who the fuck is going to be that's going to touch a child. You have to be hyper vigilant when you have children in this world and you are out there in the dating scene. You have to be hyper vigilant when it comes to protecting your children. I don't give a fuck what anybody says.
And sometimes it's not even like your significant other. Sometimes it's a family.
And it doesn't.
Yeah.
Married to the person, going to be married to the person, dating the person.
Like I recently read a case in the FBI files of a man who was charged with sexual sodomy, with 2 counts of sexual sodomy, and The victims were 17 and 14, and it was the one and only time. It only happened one time apiece, Your Honor, but it was their own dad, who was still married to the mom, who had no idea that her husband, her daughter's father, sodomized both of her daughters. You have no fucking clue. You don't. You have no clue on who it's going to be and when it's going to happen.
That's why you got to constantly.
That's why you have to constantly, continually educate your children and be a part of their life.
Make sure they have trust that they can tell you anything.
It like can even be a mom. It can even be a mom that gave birth to the child.
Exactly, and all too often, it happens. It happens all the fucking time.
Look at all these teachers too. You know what I mean?
You're right, act right. And that's the sad thing right there. She said, I learned from personal experience, you can't fix that kind of broken. You can't. Once that innocence is taken, there's no fixing it. There's no getting it back. There's no mending it.
They're always going to remember that. It's always going to be. It's going to affect them.
Every single day of my life, I remember that fact about me. I couldn't tell you what I did 5 days ago, 10 days ago, a month ago, 6 years ago. I couldn't tell you exactly what I did, but I could tell you exactly when my innocence was broken.
Yeah. Yep.
Period. That's the cold hard truth about it.
And here's all these kids in college protesting.
Shit for Palestine.
About another country.
Not literally, but you know what I mean? Like, that's my point. That's like, we have our own fucking problems and issues in our country. That's what we need to be focused on. And we're not. All of these people that did this protest and shit at UCLA this morning in these encampments and shit around the country, they should all be in jail for being stupid. They're stupid.
I know, and they're college students. That shows you how much. That shows you about our education system.
CLA.
This coming from an educator.
Yeah. Exactly. What the hell? They have a bad name now.
You know what I mean? I mean, it's just fucking ridiculous.
It is.
I don't remember a time in my 45 years of being an American citizen, being born in this country. I don't remember the last time America has put Americans first. Ever.
No.
I know there was a time back years and years and years ago, before my existence, that Americans put America first. Well, they don't anymore. It's what can we do to help other people while we fuck our own selves over.
You know what's the sad part about it is we had a president who went and apologized to the world as he went to different countries for all the stuff that America had done. That's not
interesting.
Why?
Why do that?
Yeah. Why does that even make sense?
It don't.
That don't make sense at all.
It's fucking stupid. It's stupid. And this one's costing this live stream is costing me a lot. I'm just telling you right now. I'm not even keeping track. I'm just gonna throw a $10 bill in there. How about that? Yeah. Into the swear jar. We still, as a community, we still need to decide what we're going to do with the swear jar money anyway. So that's what we need to do. We need to do one of those.
Maybe we could donate it to some charity or something.
Might have to save it up for the lawyer when you have to fight YouTube for getting your shit out.
Some good cause or something. MMIW or something.
Yes, you're right. You're right, Cash. These are maybe we could do that. You're right, Cash. These are incredibly complex issues. I get it. I really do. And hey, Cash, did you see that? You're gifted a membership today. So that's cool. You're here.
Ooh, Cash.
Cash was gifted a membership. Woo-hoo.
Ooh, we got 1, 2, 3.
I got 6
I
members
think
now. I think
got
all
6.
together. Yep.
Cool.
Hardy Dad was the first one to buy a membership, so that was cool.
Aw,
That is cool.
I was
I
just
really
thinking
love
of
I
him
really
this
I really
morning.
love Hardy Dad. If you guys haven't met Hardy Dad and haven't checked out his channel, please check out his channel.
Definitely.
It's it's Harley HAR capital LEE capital DAD Harley Dad. And no, he's not what you think. He's not a biker. He's actually he actually works in the correctional facilities. Um
But he's
just
an awesome guy.
But he's an awesome guy. He's an amputee. He's lost a leg, so I will always have one leg up on him. So, and that's okay. I can say that because I'm an amputee too. So I still have all my limbs. I'm just missing a nut. So, but huh? And an ass. So, but my ass wasn't amputated. I just was born with that one. So, you're welcome, Cash. I mean, I didn't pick you personally, but that's cool. But I'm gonna do that once a month. I'm gonna do that at the beginning of every month. I'm gonna buy 5 memberships, at least 5 memberships for my community. Whether they keep those memberships or not, that's on them. Exactly, Cash. Exactly, Cash. I'm getting there. They target college campuses to protest because they are most gullible to follow. Absolutely right, absolutely right. Act right. Absolutely right. Cash says the protest and handling of it is almost separate to what they are protesting. I was watching it all earlier. Exactly. Just thinking, hope this does not go violent. Yeah, I
Right,
hope it
right.
doesn't go violent either. And that's not what I'm saying. I'm not saying it's not an issue. I'm just saying like we have more complex and deeper rooted issues in America than what is being focused on in America. So that's my opinion.
And I think that's what the social protests should be more about, things that are local rather than something that's happening on the other side of the world. And there's not really anything us have experienced. Most of us have never are gonna experience going to Palestine. We don't never experience their lifestyle, but we have the potential to experience homelessness. We have the potential, have possibly been a victim of sexual child abuse. We could have a missing or murdered person in our family. You know,
Yeah.
there's things, or become one of those statistics. Those are the things that the protesters should be angry about, not the things of somebody's statue or stuff that happened, 100 years ago, or something that's happening. You know, we should care about our government is not living up to our Constitution and to the Bill of Rights. Those are the things we should be doing. I mean, when people were protesting about, you know, black people being able to vote or women to vote, that made sense. That was local. That made sense. But if it had been about people voting, if they had done just voting some other countries, that people get to vote in another country, and yet we weren't voting, we had people who weren't allowed to vote, which we do, like you said, the ones who've become felons, and they get rehabilitated and they can't vote.
In 30 years after they've committed their felony and did their time, they still can't vote. That's wrong.
Yeah, it is.
That's fucking wrong.
And yet somebody who came over illegally and then becomes an American citizen, they can vote.
Yeah.
I can see if it's violent charges or something, but I mean, it's all felons.
But why? But even if
still,
it's a violent felony, what does that have to do with you having a right to say how our country's ran? What the fuck does that have to do with it?
Yeah, it doesn't.
Unless you committed like voter fraud or something like that, that's against our system of voting, then I don't agree with it.
I mean, yeah, maybe you can't become a banker or work in a bank. Maybe you can't have a certain job.
I mean, for real.
Yeah.
But
I agree.
you shouldn't lose your right to have your say so in how our country is ran. Period.
Like, are they afraid that all these felons with drugs on their account are going to vote for the United States to have everybody can do drugs? No, they're not. Now, am I going to let them work in a medical place? Maybe not.
Cash says, I have friends that are U.S. nationals now from all over the world. Did they become U.S. nationals illegally? That's weird. I don't know why. I don't understand that part of YouTube. I really don't. Kiki's Eye says, I tried to sub, but it kicked me out.
Huh.
That's weird. Didn't surprise me.
I plead the fifth, he says. There you go. See? Well, see, there you go. I'm just saying, I don't have a problem with anybody from another country wanting to make their lives better and coming to America to do that, as long as they do it legally. Yes, our system of becoming a citizen is complex and it takes time. Well, if you want to become an American citizen, then take your time to become an American citizen. Do it legally or don't do it at all and get the fuck out of here. If the first thing you want to do to become an American citizen is an illegal act, that's an issue for me. And it always will be. Because if you come in here with the right intentions, then do it legally.
And you'll be fine. But
and you'll become a citizen and you'll become a good American citizen. And I love that fact. But
right.
Coming here illegally, the first thing you do to become an American citizen is an illegal act against America. That's an issue for me. Just saying. Just saying. Like, you want to become a citizen by breaking the law of the country you want to become a citizen in.
Yeah, it's not a good start.
Exactly, Cash. Exactly, Cash. Because I do agree, and immigration is another incredibly complex matter involving a lot of illegal, nefarious traffickers. Absolutely. I know you get me, Cash. That's why you keep coming back here, my friend. I know you get me, my friend. I get it. And I appreciate you being here, man. I really do. So, But I'm just saying, I woke up this morning, I seen that going on. I had to come and voice my opinion about it and
No, I'm glad you did.
whatnot. And like, I think actions, not race or religion, determine citizenship. Exactly.
Yep.
Exactly, Cash. That's perfectly fucking said. I couldn't say it better myself, my friend. I think actions, not race or religion, determine citizenship. Exactly.
Yep.
Right.
If you want to become a citizen, do it legally.
Just like we have to come to their country. I mean, same. You know what I mean? It's the
Like,
same
what
concept.
would happen? What would happen if we tried to go and become a citizen of France by hopping the border into France, or Canada, or Mexico,
Yeah.
or any other country? Germany, they'd probably shoot us on the spot.
China.
China would fucking have us hung up high.
Oh, we know China would really.
I mean, for real. But yet we're allowing all these other immigrants come here for illegal. It's fucking ridiculous. It's ridiculous.
We'd be moving rocks in China.
You're right, Cash.
Not little rocks.
Absolutely. Abso-fucking-lutely, Cash. Race and religion should be borderless. Yes, absolutely. I agree. You would? Cash, you would? Oh, you really do like me. He says, I would visit you in France. Oh, Cash. Oh, you're pulling on my heartstrings today, my friend. Oh, I'd come visit you in France too if you were there.
It's probably not cold.
It snowed here yesterday, dude. I was so fucking excited.
I saw that.
It actually stuck. We got like a fucking inch and a half of snow yesterday. It was great.
Gone.
And now it's gone. I was all bummed out.
Now it's happy.
We know you like the fucking heat, okay, babe?
I know it's not that I like the heat. I just hate the cold. Hate it. I hate snow.
I like it cold outside and warm inside.
Yeah.
But not hot. I don't want to be hot. Like right now, I have my doors partially opened. And it's chilly outside. It'll be warmer. It's overcast today, but it'll be warmer. And I'm cold. But I'm enjoying it because I know that summer's coming and the hot's gonna be here. And it's not like it's ice cold that I have to have, winter clothes on or anything. It just helps cool the house down and it just feels very refreshing. If I was to be cold all day like this, I might not feel refreshed. But in the morning, it feels fantastic.
What do you mean, Mom? You're in Texas. It never gets cold in Texas. If I was there, I would live in nothing but shorts and a tank top year round.
Well, so far it's cold. It's been colder than Phoenix, Arizona. Phoenix already hit 100 one day.
Oh, yeah?
I wasn't there.
It's 32 degrees right now in Idaho, where I'm at.
I don't know what it is here, but it just feels nice.
Okay, that's it. Kiki, you're getting banned right now. Kiki's Eyes is now banned from this community forever and ever because she says, I'm sorry, but I hate snow.
Oh, you're still welcome. I still welcome her.
I love snow. I love snow. I don't like driving in it, and I don't like it when it's all dirty.
Oh,
but
yeah,
when it snows, but I don't want to live in snow 24/7. Just like I don't want to live in 100 and all year round, and I don't want to live in the heat all year round.
Dude, once it hits 72 degrees, I hate it. Once it hits 72 degrees, I hate it. Like perfect.
Pick an egg on the sidewalk. It's too
like the perfect temperature for me is like a 10-degree range, and it's like 60 to 72 degrees. Somewhere around there. Like that's perfect. That's ideal temperature for me. For me. Now, I'm not saying that's should be the way it is all the time, but I'm kind of saying.
Did you read what Cash wrote?
Oh, I draw yellow angels in the snow. Yeah, he's talented. He's multi-talented. Okay, Truth Warrior is now banned from the community forever. She's no longer allowed to come back around here. Like until you guys start loving the snow. I'm just kidding. I'm just kidding. I would never ban
We
people.
love
from
you,
being
Truth
here.
Warrior.
I would never ban people. Well, I banned some people from being
Oh,
here.
guess who went live recently?
Who?
Rapper.
Yeah, I seen that. Oh, I didn't see his live, but I seen him in somebody else's chat.
He had a lot of lives one day. I only saw a couple, and I didn't watch the whole thing because
kind of sexy come
but
too, though.
Right? Right, Cash? That's what I'm saying. Cash says, God, you all hate everything for fuck's sake. I don't.
no.
I don't hate everything. I just don't like pedophiles and people who hurt kids. But other than that, I really don't really care. And I hate the heat. Like I hate the heat. I can say that. I fucking hate the heat. Oh, Cash, put up a little lovely snow thing. Yes, I can't see what it is because it's so damn small, but you know what? Oh, thanks, Cash. I love the little lovely snow thing. I'm just saying, I can't tell what it is, but I still love it because it has to do with snow. I'm just saying. Kiki's eyes. You're walking a real fine line with me right now. Okay. She says, I love spring, summer, and fall.
Me too.
That's kind of prejudiced, if you ask me.
It's snowist.
I do. I Cash, I'm kind of with you on that. I love the smell of autumn, but I love the smell of springtime. I love the smell of springtime. I'm not gonna lie.
And I like the colors of fall. I like the colors of fall. And the trees and leaves and all that.
Shit, I hear you, Truth Warrior. Like last week I worked 3 16-hour shifts, a 17-hour shift, and a 15-hour shift last week. And I'm still negative in my bank account.
And sometimes he took us with him.
You know what? Seniors are expensive.
Yeah, seniors are like not senior citizens because I'll be there soon enough. But high school seniors are fucking expensive.
Oh,
that's where a lot of our money's gone.
Yeah, that's where most of our money's gone. Like I don't want my son to hear it because he'll feel bad about it. But like just for his class ring, dude, it's gonna cost me like $600 fucking dollars.
Yeah, just a ring.
And then the cap and gown, you have to give it back.
Cap and gown.
Yeah,
that you have to rent and return it, or you get paid or you get charged like fucking quadruple the price you paid for it. They wanted $160 fucking dollars for the cap and gown.
Yeah, it's ridiculous.
They don't have $160. It's not even a $160 worth of material.
No, it's not.
And it's not counting invitations either.
Yeah, for us to get like the 25 invitations, his cap and gown, I think that was it. It was going to be like $245.
Yeah, it's ridiculous.
Yep, the price of living is fecked all worldwide. Yep.
Oh yeah.
Yep. I got 3. Oh wow, I'm sorry. That sucks. Kiki's Eye says I got 3 in college that I'm helping pay for.
Oh,
wow. There we go. That's the borderline effect right there. That's what it comes down to. Corrupt governments.
Mm-hmm. And that's what's happening. Yes. We're getting more and more, not only just in the United States, but it used to be you had it in the other, we knew more of it in the other countries, but now we're getting it for sure. Here in our, more and more it's coming out. No, not at the federal level either.
Yeah.
It's I tell you, power just having that power just
And see, that's the whole thing. That's the whole thing. That's not what our government, like, that's not how it was meant to be. Putting people in political offices was not for giving them positions of power and control. They are supposed to be doing a job that we tell them to fucking do.
Mm-hmm.
The fact that they
And
have
instead they
power
get a big head.
is bullshit.
Yeah.
They get a big head. Some of them.
They get greedy.
Yeah. Yep.
It's really sad.
It really
And
is.
then some of the good people that we get, they only do one term, and it's like they don't even go for it, because they see all the garbage that's going on in, Washington and stuff like that, and they don't want to be a part of it. After they get there, they thought they could do a difference. They struggled at it, because you have all these lobbyists and everything else that's, the lobbyists are the ones that are getting their way,
Like, I don't,
and the people that back them.
Like, I honestly don't remember the last time a government official did anything remotely close to what I consider important. Or a policy that I want to be put into effect, or a law that I want to see changed. I don't remember the last time.
Except for the one recently where they added the death penalty to.
There, thank you for correcting me. So yes, so I have to agree. I lied. So the last thing my government's done, well, not even my government. Well, here in Idaho, anyway, our political officials made it so certain sex crimes against children can now be punishable by death. And Florida is that way too. So that's one thing I can say that my government's done that I agree with, that I would push for, that I've pushed for. So other than that, not shit. Just saying.
You can get class rings at Walmart.
Wow.
Uh-oh. Cash? You're right. I'm a big liar. Clip that shit. I lied. Clip it. Tag it. Put it out there. Bring me some more subscribers, guys. Pow. You're lucky I like you, Cash. You're lucky I got you a membership today. Because if not, we might be boxing. I'm just kidding. What are class rings? A class ring is just something that seniors get for their graduating year, that as memorabilia that memorializes their time in college and stuff like that. Just a milestone marker, basically.
Just think of it as a NFL ring.
A championship ring.
Except that it's a lower, a championship ring. Except that it's a class ring. I never got a class ring.
Neither did I.
My parents wouldn't. My parents would not buy me one.
My parents said, if you want a class ring, you better get a fucking job. And I said, well, I got a job and I spent all my money on weed, so I guess I'm not getting a class ring. But I didn't know Walmart. I didn't know Walmart did class rings. I'm gonna have to look that up. I'm actually going to look it up right now, to be honest with you, because I'm not a liar, Cash. Damn it.
I don't have a problem with staff, teachers being able to conceal and carry to protect students. But I do know that there are people that it really bothers. And then I worked in a place where our police officer that we had working on campus, he somehow had his weapons stolen out of his office because I guess he didn't lock it up properly or something.
You know what? Here, I got something to say. My wife has kind of brought this to my attention under her voice, but okay, so you guys know about the Crumbleys, right? Jennifer and James Crumbly, their son Ian, right? Their son Ethan shot up a school a few years back, and Jennifer and Ethan Crumbly got charged with manslaughter charges
For what their son did.
for what their son did. I disagree. Like I'm not saying now hear me out before people freak out about this, but I'm not saying that Jennifer and James Crumbly were good parents. There was obviously neglect there in many directions. But with charging them with involuntary manslaughter charges, then everybody that was in that principal's office that day that decided it was a good idea for him to stay at school should be charged with involuntary manslaughter charges as well.
And every other parent.
And every other parent whose child has went and shot up the school, they should all be subsequently charged for involuntary manslaughter charges as well. Like when Jennifer Crumbly was expressing the day that the shooting happened, when she was like, "Where's he at?" The thought of him going to the school and shooting up the school never crossed her mind. She legitimately thought that he committed suicide.
She thought he was going to shoot himself.
She thought he was going to shoot himself.
I think it's messed up.
I think it's a travesty. I think it's a tragedy in our justice system, and it just shows one more time how our justice system is not justifiable. Should they have been charged with some kind of neglect charges? Absolutely. Absolutely.
They shouldn't have got 15
But they
years.
shouldn't have got 15 years for involuntary manslaughter charges, because their son even made a statement to the court before they got sentenced and charged, before he got sentenced, said, "I take full responsibility. My parents couldn't have done nothing. My parents did nothing. Like they couldn't have done, they had no fucking clue."
Took full responsibility.
It's just wrong for me. I just think it's wrong. What about states that are allowing teachers? Here we go. What about states that are allowing teachers to conceal carry to protect their students in case of a school shooter? My state did that. One thing I could say was good that my government did. I had to buy mine from working. I'm on the fence about it. I don't know. I'm on the fence about it a little bit. I mean, I think it's a good idea in a sense, but then again, one of these times we're gonna have a teacher that fucking snaps, and you know what I mean? Like,
then what? Yeah.
I don't know. Like, I'm not against gun control. I'm against gun control. I'm pro gun. I think everybody should own one. Like, the fact of the matter remains is guns are completely harmless as long as the person behind it knows what the fuck they're doing.
And if the kid is really going to shoot up a school that wants to do that bad, I guess they're going to attempt to anyways, no matter what.
Yeah.
Right.
For real.
It's up to the school to try to do as much as they can.
Prove it, Cash.
To protect the students.
Yes,
but
absolutely.
like locking all doors except maybe the main door. And
metal detectors.
Really.
Nope, I don't recall.
Being able to block off, the lobby as soon as they know something's potential, those kind of things.
Alarm system, so it goes off if somebody opens the door that's not authorized.
Why not put bulletproof glass in the windows, put steel doors on the frames, and put American veterans in the schools to patrol the schools? Why not that? I know that if I was gonna do this horrible crime of shooting up a school, and I went to a school and they had bulletproof glass and doors, and they had armed American soldiers walking around the campus, I'm probably not going to go shoot that school at all. Just because
But when there's,
it's not gonna accomplish what I wanted to accomplish.
mm-hmm.
You know what I mean? So I mean, exactly, Cash. I'm getting there, man.
And take every red flag seriously. Like if a student's acting, there's red flags with the student, take it seriously.
Well, check it out, Cash. Check out the case, and then I'm really interested in what your opinion is on it. Like people should not be responsible for the actions of other people, whether it's their child or not. Like
knowing is one thing, but
like if he would have went to his
making
like
a choice.
like if this kid would if Ethan would have went to his parents and said, I'm going to shoot up the school, and they went out and bought him a gun, then I could see it. But that's not what happened. That's not what happened. That's not how shit went down.
Right.
Yes, should they have gotten him some help?
Yes, they should have,
Yes,
and that's
they
where the
should have.
neglect
Yeah.
comes in.
Right.
But they charged the mom
They
and
didn't
dad.
tell him to go shoot up the school, and they didn't.
Yeah.
They had no knowledge that he was going to, so they shouldn't have been charged with it.
Yeah. So like this goes all the way back to the one of the very first school shootings in history, and that's the Columbine shootings. Like their parents didn't have any clue that they wanted to shoot up the school either, but they didn't get charged. And were they neglectful parents? Yes, they were. They neglected the mental health needs of their child, and that's fucked up of them. That makes them shitty parents. But it's not like when the day that this shooting happened, they called Ethan into the office because of a drawing that he had, and it was a drawing of somebody holding a gun with a person laying on the ground with X's over their eyes,
Pew, pew.
saying pew pew and whatnot. So that was cause for concern.
He was looking up
And he was looking up about different types of ammunition in class, and that was enough to create awareness of maybe an issue big enough for them to call him to the office, call his parents out of work to have them come to the school and sit there and be told that their kid has this crazy drawing with somebody dead and a person standing over them with a gun, and yet they all unanimously agreed to let him stay at school.
They actually recommended that they leave him at school.
The principal himself actually recommended that they leave him at school.
And they didn't check his backpack.
They didn't look in his backpack. If they would have looked in his fucking backpack, they would have seen the gun in his fucking backpack.
Yep.
Wow.
So everybody that day that had contact with Ethan Crumbly should, because they charged the parents, subsequently should be charged with fucking with how many people he murdered with that many counts of involuntary manslaughter. That's the only that's justification. That's
because to be honest, they seen the drawings before the parents did.
Yeah, like there you go. That's perfectly said. I never even realized that.
Yeah.
This teacher that seen this drawing took this drawing and took Ethan down to the principal's office. The principal and the teacher and counselors knew about this drawing and this shit before the parents even did. But yet the parents are going to prison for 15 years because of this charge. I think it's bullshit.
It is bullshit.
Yeah, that's really weird. And yeah.
Neglect.
I agree though. They should have. I don't know why they didn't decide to check his backpack,
his locker, and all that shit. And
yeah,
Cash, you're right on the money. You're right on the money. Gun ownership is not the issue. The owners of guns are.
Yep.
Absolutely.
Right. It's the guns don't kill anybody. It's the person pulling the trigger.
Yeah.
You can take it. You can take a gun and load it, pop that fucking hammer back, and be ready to shoot that son of a bitch, and set that gun down in the middle of a public roadway. And as long as nobody picks up that gun and pulls that trigger, that gun will sit there until it deteriorates into fucking nothing and harm nobody. It can't shoot itself. It has no mind. It has no feeling.
Yep.
That's not the issue. Guns are not the fucking issue. You're right, Cash.
This person that decides to make that choice to use it to shoot somebody.
I think in order to own a gun, you should have to go through quite an extensive background check. You should have to be your mental health should have to be evaluated.
Mm-hmm.
And your child, if you're buying one for your child, they should have to take hunter safety, and they should have to.
Yeah, they should take gun safety classes and get certified. Like for real. I mean, there's things that we as Americans can do to make gun ownership a lot better, so we can keep the guns out of crazy people's hands. But
except for everybody wants to look at guns like that's the problem. The guns are the problem, and it's
right.
It's not the guns.
Absolutely. Mental and social health is massively underfunded. Yep, you're right.
Yep.
Truth Warrior says they are crest havoc mind control, so they can implement gun control by playing on emotions. If there's gun control, the criminal will always obtain weapons. We need to be able to protect ourselves. Absolutely.
Yep.
If you take guns away from law-abiding citizens, the only people that'll have guns are criminals.
That's why we were given the right to bear arms. We were given the right to bear arms for a reason. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Oh yeah, because it was also to protect us from our government in case our government decided to go crazy.
Exactly.
And that's why. And now that's why they're wanting to take away our guns.
Yeah.
Because they do want to go crazy.
We can't defend ourselves, so we can't defend ourselves.
Cass says, at truth, but there is an easier compromise. It needs tightening. I think.
Yes.
Not ablation. But owning more than X amount of ammo a percent kept at registered places. Nobody needs some of these items. Well, I kind of not agree with that a little bit, but like my dad and I, we have a couple 100 pounds of gunpowder and
make your own bullets
and a couple 1,000 pounds of steel shot BBs for shotguns and reloading equipment and all that. And I mean, you're right. You are right, Cash. He says the amendment argument is a smokescreen. Idiots do not have a right to bear arms. You're right.
You're right.
Absolutely fucking right.
Well, you're right, but
absolutely right. But
how they're trying to take them away from us,
yes.
Right? Because somebody else's stupidity is wrong.
As long as they're in a black market, the criminals will always get firearms. Yep. Absolutely. And they won't. Truth, a gun is for protection. Yeah. There is not an armed militia coming. Guns are that's why the people who invented guns, that's why they invented them for survival.
Mm-hmm. For hunting too.
And protection. Like some of the things that people have put in place, like for gun control, people are like, well, look, okay, so my house got raided back about 9 years ago for some bullshit crap. And CPS stepped in and my wife and I got charged with a stupid ass charge that we beat in court because there was no evidence because it didn't really happen. But their biggest issue was I had a 45 and a 9mm that wasn't locked in a safe. They were legitimately sitting on my bed. My kids were 9 and 11 at the time.
You're registered to own them.
I'm registered to own them. I lawfully bought them. I was the legal owner of these guns, and they took my guns away because I did not have them, 1, locked in a safe. 2, I didn't have the clips in a separate room separated from the gun. And 3, I didn't have trigger safeties on them. Well, when somebody comes,
have bolted or something to do with the.
Oh, and my safe wasn't bolted to the ground where I was going to keep these guns, so my kids could have access to these guns. Well, my kids have been shooting guns since they were 4 years old, 5 years old.
Sons took hunter safety too.
And like their biggest thing was that we'll let you have your kids back in your home as soon as you lock your guns up. Well, when somebody kicks in my fucking door to come and cause harm to my kids or my family, I don't have time to walk in one room, grab my gun, find the key, unlock the trigger lock, pull it apart, go clear across my house and go find the clip, then go back across the house and get the bullets, load my clip, put it in my gun, and protect my family. It don't work like that. It don't fucking work like that. It don't work like that. You can't protect yourself, let alone your family, if you have to go to 5 different rooms to get your gun put together. Someone kicks in my fucking door, I need my protection right beside me, right now. That's what it comes down to. That's what it comes down to. Gun control is not for law-abiding citizens. I took classes to be able to own firearms.
Same with young adults. They should have to go through hunter safety and all that.
I understand some places need extra guns, etc., for recreation or work. But if someone has 4 boxes of ammo and 7 guns in a house in street accessible, not good. Well, I don't know. I don't know. Like if I have the means to own 60 guns and 70,000 rounds of ammunition, then by all means I should have that right to be able to do so.
Yeah.
No, I'm not saying that you should just keep your shit accessible. Like if you're gonna come in my house and think you're just gonna get access to my guns, you're probably gonna get shot with a 45 before you get close to my guns. And that's real. Like I sleep with a 45 underneath my pillow and a fucking 9mm under my mattress. I got a shotgun sitting by my door and it's ready to go. Like for real. And it's not a joke. Like if okay, I see what you're saying, Cash. Okay, I see what you're saying. Not 12 AK-47s. I don't really think we need automatic weapons, but semi-automatic weapons are important. I really believe that. So, but CPS was like that's the most irresponsible thing a person can do with a gun is let them just sit there so your kids can have access to them. Well, first of all, my wife and I basically stay in our bedroom. That's where we hang out most of the time.
First of all, you're registered. They were legit gun everything. So you know what I mean, I could see if they were illegal and you.
I can see I could like I could see if I had stupid kids.
Are you?
Like we educated our kids about these important things at a very young age, and like I said, I took my kids out shooting guns for the first time when they were 4 years old.
Safety, remember? You passed it and
Yeah.
everything.
And like, guns don't kill people. People kill people. That's it. Yeah. That's the point. My point is, LOL, there is an easier compromise for fuck's sake. No, I get what you're saying. There is an easier compromise. Absolutely. There is an easier compromise. There really is. I get it, Cash. You're right. I am educated. And I think, yes, absolutely. Educated them. Yes, we did. And unfortunately, a lot of people don't do that with their kids. I don't think everybody should just be able to walk down to a fucking gun store and buy a gun. No, I don't. I don't think that. I think there should be certain requirements and things that you got to go through and classes you got to take in order to own a fucking gun, to be a responsible gun owner. Absolutely. Now, I mean, I took hunter safety, but I didn't take any gun safety classes and all that shit. I was taught that shit at a young age. Like I've been packing guns since I was 5 years old, shooting guns ever since then. Like my house, my dad's house is full of them.
These younger generations, they should,
so
more so. Yeah.
Absolutely, Cash. Absolutely. I agree. Cash says some kids should not be able to access this stuff. Main problem, however, solved. Absolutely. Absolutely, Cash. I
But
agree.
where we have the dark web and stuff, kids have access to be able to get them too because of that. You know what I
Yeah.
mean?
Yeah. I mean, I can get on the dark web right now and order a fucking illegal gun and have it sent right to my house.
So can kids.
And so that means anybody can,
Yeah.
regardless of age.
Yeah.
So, I mean, yes, it's an issue. Guns are an issue, but that's not the issue. The issue is the ones that have the guns. So, but I got to get to work, ladies and gentlemen. I'm going to get out of here. It has been a great morning talking to all of you guys, for real.
It has been a great morning.
Talked about some interesting stuff, had some good conversation, and I appreciate all of you guys being here and giving me your personal time of day. And for that, I can never repay you, but I love you all just the same. Okay, ban him. Somebody. Oh, he's got a wrench. He can't be banned. Damn it. Ban him. We'll figure it out now. He says the issue is the fucking snow. Cat. Damn it. Just when I started liking y'all. I'm just kidding. I'm just kidding. Stay safe, all. Absolutely. And on that note, Cash, we are out of here. Mom, give me a call later, would you?
I will.
Okay. I love you and I miss you.
Love you too. Miss you too, Sugar Glider.
Right. And with that being said, this is G2K. I'm out of here. Everybody have a great day. And please do me a favor. Tell your friends about me because they're going to want to know. Get to know. Later.
That's right. Gators.